Man, listen to that audio loop. What's that, like 3 seconds? I do not remember it being that short back in the day.
I don't think it is that short. I'm hearing some like different pausing stuff.
Well, good on you. All right, we're back with our. I guess this could not in any way, shape, or form be considered a Mega Man X2 speed run anymore. So
it's a speed run as far as this channel is concerned.
Cool. Thank you for ousting me as a sham of a video game player.
I mean, doing a speed run like isn't exactly
I know.
being
That's
a good video game player.
It's the kind of thing you gotta train for. I mean,
I'm sure you could like speed run Fortnite if you tried.
A game with no ending.
Oh,
no
there's
goals.
an end. there's a means to an end.
All right. Okay, so I need to start collecting the fucking the armor pieces. So let us do Wheelgator first, because we need his weapon to get into Overdrive Ostrich's little secret area.
He is a wheel gator. He is a gator which wheels.
Cool. I did not remember to look if any of the Maverick Hunters were... damn it, the X-Hunters were in this level, so might have just screwed us out of getting 0.
You mean like checking online or like checking in the game somehow?
On the map. Because they show you on the map where there's an X-Hunter.
Oh. Good show.
I think maybe they give you room to fuck up once with fighting the X-Hunters, so maybe we're still good.
Okay.
I'm going to be real salty if we don't get 0, though.
Yeah.
One of these days we'll play Mega Man 0 on here.
What era is that?
That was early 2000s. That came out for Game Boy Advance.
Okay, I think I remember that.
Yeah.
That was when they put like scarves on everybody.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I think that checks out.
But, like, everybody who's everybody knows that Zero is the coolest character in this game. Like, this franchise is really just a vessel for how cool Zero is. And then...
Zero's just the most badass.
And then finally, Keiji Inafune was like, hey, we'll give the people what they want. We'll give them a series just starring Zero. After they played coy with letting you even play as him in the X games for a while. And then once they finally do let you play as him in his own series, they really, really did a heel turn with the art style. Like,
what?
It went super anime. And, you know,
I remember that. Because there was an actual anime, wasn't there?
There was a Mega Man anime, but it had nothing to do with this series. It was Mega Man NT Warrior or something. The one that had to do with like the alt universe where it took place in computers and Mega Man was a program.
Yeah.
But
I watched that on like WB or something.
But no, that would have been like that's a different level of anime. Like they went I don't know how to describe it really without showing it to you. It's like the art style is just weird for the Zero games. They completely changed Zero's character design.
Yeah.
Which, like, they gave him different armor, different look. They gave him more human proportions, which I always thought was weird.
Yeah, I remember
that. But, I mean, the games are fun and ball-bustingly difficult. But, yeah, I just was never, like, fully on board for the art style. But, you know, I'm not that big a fan of the original Mega Man series' art style anyway. I like X a lot more, but, you know, I'm a stickler when it comes to character design and world design. Yes, that is blood.
What?
Yeah.
How is that blood?
Wheelgator swims in blood. He eats people.
Didn't they make like House of the Living Dead or something, like change their blood to green?
The movie?
No, whatever fucking zombie arcade game. Maybe this was
House
in
of the Dead.
House of the Dead. Maybe this was in Germany or something. They made them change the red blood to green blood.
I remember hearing something about that, but
And here it's just, oh yeah, just have a fucking pool of blood, just gator flying and fucking fetus blood.
thank you. Real advertiser friendly there. No, I mean, like some SNES games, and like it's just any games of the era, some of them got away with a little bit of blood and gore, but this was, I can't remember if this was before or after the ESRB got formed and they started actually monitoring the content of video games.
So before they just had like, just like dicks flying everywhere and like rampant gore and snuff films.
Sure. Let's go with that.
Like, are we gonna get some Mega Man snuff film planted somewhere in here?
I mean, can't say I wouldn't watch it, but no. There's this really interesting book called Console Wars that's all about the feud between Nintendo and Sega in the 90s.
Huh.
And a big chunk of that book is talking about either how the ESRB was formed, I can't remember, I read it a while ago, or the precursor to the ESRB, because Sega were actually the first people that started monitoring the content of their games. They had their own rating system.
Oh.
Like, they had, like, KA meant, like, kids all or something like that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they were using that as a marketing tactic, actually, because Sega...
parents.
Yeah, Sega was known for having, you know, slightly more adult and edgy games in the 90s, and Nintendo was squeaky clean, or they like to think of themselves as such.
Yeah.
And then Sega was like, hey, we can release more adult content on our systems, but let's actually police ourselves and give parents the information that they want so that they're informed.
Yeah.
And then they kind of used that to stick it to Nintendo, like, why isn't Nintendo doing this? You know, like, they should be on board with it. And oh man, did that piss off the heads of Nintendo. Because then Sega started releasing stuff like Snatcher for the Sega CD, which was like a really divisive game, or maybe I'm thinking of Night Trap, but one of those.
What was Snatcher?
No, Snatcher was this cyberpunk visual novel game.
Okay.
No, I was thinking of Night Trap. Night Trap is a game where you're basically monitoring these security cameras placed around a house, and it's set up kind of like a slasher movie. There are these two guys that are breaking and entering into a house with like a girl's slumber party happening. Why am I still in this level? I got the thing I wanted. And you have to like foil the robbers like with the cameras by like setting off devices or something, if I remember correctly.
So it's Home Alone, the game.
Kind of, but there's also like lots of bad ends where like the girls can get murdered viciously. And that was a huge controversy back then. And
that was after the rating or before?
That was before. That was like kind of the catalyst for it. And then so then Sega was like, hey, we know our content is kind of racy. Let's police ourselves. Nintendo, why don't you get on board and do the same? And Nintendo was like, you know what? Fuck you. You're the guys that are causing problems for the rest of us. And they were really hesitant to get on board. And then finally, you know, they got strong-armed into it, basically.
But that's after like a separate, administration kind of formed?
I don't know.
Because the ESRB or whatever?
I don't know. I don't even care now because I forgot to look if there was even a fucking Maverick Hunter in this level. God damn it, X Hunter. And yes, there is. Thank God. Who is it? Oh, great.
Hello, I am Purple Librarian. I have come to book you.
Why librarian?
With my blood sword! I don't know, he had a very smug look on his face.
That is not the weapon against this guy. Okay.
My blood sword books all.
This works on his second form. Okay, I guess it works on this one too. Because you fight all of these guys twice once you eventually make it to Sigma's lair. or the X100 base, then you fight them all again, and they each have like a second form.
Oh, okay.
So this is the weapon that works against the second form, and I guess it works against this one too.
Huh.
So that's lucky.
Because he's a dumbass weakling librarian.
Damn it, why can't I hit this button right? Alright, there we go. Yeah, now I remember the strategy. You had to bait him into doing the sword beam up near the top and then dash under it. Alright, we got 2 out of 3 0 parts.
That was pretty quick. How are you supposed to get them pretty quick?
I mean, if you're not good at the game, then you don't get them very quick, I guess.
Yeah, see? You don't have to measure yourself up to Mr. 32 minutes and 30 seconds Japan.
Thanks. Appreciate that. I really wish there were more of these like cycle sequences in the game. This is, I think, the only level that they happen in.
Yeah,
it's like really cool.
I can imagine just watching that for 30 minutes, like in a Loafy mix.
A what mix?
A Loafy mix.
The fuck is a Loafy mix?
It's Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece. Except you know the Pikachu meme where he's like making the O face. You just put that there.
You mean the surprised face, not Pikachu making an O face.
It's Pikachu making an O face, and then you got a Loafy mix.
Speaking of Pikachu making an O face.
Lo-fi! Lo-fi mix. People call it Loafy. To be stupid.
Speaking of Pikachu's O face, Ryan Reynolds apparently said in an interview the other day that there were enough alternate adult-oriented takes that they cut out of Detective Pikachu to make a full R-rated cut of the movie if they so wished. Yeah.
I mean, he does a lot. He does like a shit ton of improv. I forget who was talking about it. They were on set with him, but they said like he is like one of the funniest people they've ever worked with. Just like the amount of improv and like shit he says.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I forget who fucking said this now. I feel like it was a younger actor who like didn't expect it or something. That he was just like as dirty as possible.
Like, they would never put any of that stuff on the Detective Pikachu Blu-ray, but man, would I pay some hard cash for it.
Do you think it would still make sense, or do you think it would play out like a Melissa McCarthy comedy? Like just a bunch of random ad-libs, like don't really make any, like, point of, like, moving the story forward or, like, making it better?
Well, I think it'd be better than a Melissa McCarthy comedy because, you know, of everything about the production. But, no, you're talking about, like, if it's a Bizarro cut.
Yeah.
Like the Anchorman Bizarro cut.
Yeah.
That, like, most of the ad-libs or alternate takes don't make sense. That I'm not sure about. Like,
yeah.
I didn't actually read the interview. I just saw the headline.
Okay. So you're spreading fake news.
Yeah, so I'm the worst.
Yeah.
I guess this is turning into a Buster only run.
A what?
Buster only.
Why is it Buster only?
Because I just killed like the last 2 boss? No. Never mind. This is a single boss Buster run.
That really changes it, in my view. I'm so glad you clarified that. I was fucking lost.
People do Buster only runs of Mega Man games where they, they'll collect the other boss weapons from beating them, obviously, but they won't use them against any of the bosses. They'll only use your standard Mega Buster weapon.
Okay.
And that is not what I'm doing, apparently. I was more just impressed with myself because, like, wow, I beat Overdrive Ostrich with the Buster without even thinking about it. Maybe this should be a Buster-only run, even though we've gotten through, like, a third of the bosses with other weapons.
Buster only starting right now. Okay.
Yep, Buster only starting right now. Next time on F This Game. Bye-bye.
Bye.